Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, silver shamrock. Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween.
Yeah, this is a weird
Halloween.
way to open because for the first time ever, we're not in the same room.
Nope. Alex, where are you? I have no idea.
I think the question is, where are you? Because I don't see you anywhere.
Well, I happen to be broadcasting in from North Hollywood, California. Woot woot.
Nice. You gotta represent the north part of this area.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
LA represent.
yeah, and I just noticed you have like a dead body, like on your bookshelf.
Oh.
There's an arm. It looks like you.
Yep.
It looks like you have the upper half of the angry video game nerd stuffed in your bookshelf. Huh?
Well, that was actually part of my planned Halloween costume.
Oh.
I was gonna go as a Wampa, and the Wampa won the fight with Luke Skywalker in my version. So that's arm on my bookshelf right now.
Okay. Yeah, it looks, because I only see a hand and a white shirt. It looks like the angry video game nerd.
Yeah.
Just like you killed him, and he's just chilling on your book rack. So
Yeah, he's dead.
yeah. So hey everyone, this is Rooftop Chats, episode 6, I think, our Halloween special. I'm Alexander, and with me is Cassie, who is not in the same room as we mentioned before. So
Nope.
this is the first time. Yeah, this is the first time we're doing it through Google Hangout. If it comes last minute, again, we might do this. But things might change because you have a new job.
I do. You can now find me at ArcLight Sherman Oaks.
I don't think.
Don't go looking for me.
Well, no one looks like. No one knows what you look like, so you'll be safe.
That's
So
good. Gotta stay on the hill.
yeah, just keep yourself hidden until we actually find the ability to make video podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this show is probably going to be a little shorter one because we're again doing another theme, mainly Halloween stuff. So I think how this is going to work, we'll talk about some like experiences we've had in past Halloweens and just like some Halloween type stories that we might have. So I actually had a friend who I wanted to come on the show, but he didn't say he was like mic shy. He just said he didn't really have that much to contribute. But apparently he told me about a story where I took him to Halloween Horror Nights, like when it came back around 8 years ago, I think. Like he claims this. I don't remember if I took him or not. But apparently, like, he said that, like, for months he had nightmares about that place. And, like, I'm just sitting back. Yeah, I'm just sitting back and I'm like, really? I'm thinking two things. I'm like, really? You had nightmares? And really? I took you one time? When was this?
Well, I remember once when I was like 6 or something, and I was in my hometown and I was hanging out with my mom and dad. I'm pretty sure, I can't remember if it was even close to Halloween. I think it was just like September or something.
Uh-huh.
And we stopped by this, I can't remember why we were stopped there. I think it was near like a store, but there was like one of those like haunted buses. I don't know if you've ever seen those, but it's just like a school bus that's been like converted into like, little to my knowledge, it had been converted into a haunted house. And like,
I don't think I've ever seen any of those things before.
Maybe it's just a Midwest thing, I don't know. But anyways, my parents asked the woman up front if she thought that it was scary, like, because, you know, I was 6.
Uh-huh.
And she said no, that there wasn't anything terrifying on the bus at all. And so we paid the tickets, we got on, and 3 seconds into it, I started crying because it
Oh.
was terrifying.
Oh man.
It was like pitch black and flashing lights, and like a scary guy that popped out at you from a coffin, and it was not fun.
Wow.
Not fun at all.
That's a weird thing. Like when you're younger and your parents ask, "Hey, my kid's like 6. Is it okay if she goes on this like thing that's clearly a little bit older?" And it's like, "Oh, sure, it'll be fine." And then you come out, "Ah, it's too scary."
Yeah.
Like it's like I don't know if they do that on purpose or they just don't care about their job. But
Well, it's very mean. I mean, she should have said it's probably a little too scary, but if you think that she can handle it, go ahead.
right. I know for the longest time I was like, 'cause I knew some people who were like, back when I was like 8 years old, like people back then like around my age would not be scared at all of like these haunted mazes and like horror movies or something. Because it took me a while to actually like, I don't know if it took me a while, but I first saw like, I think my first horror movie at 8 years old. And that was Jaws. It's like it's like back in the Blockbuster days. You know how like you walk through an old Blockbuster, you see a lot of these VHS covers, and they would like fascinate you, but at times like it would look cool, but at the same time you were like too scared to see the movie that you were holding.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did that a long time for a lot of the Godzilla movies, Jaws, King Kong, Jurassic Park. It's like too scared. Like they had cool boxes, but I was too scared to ever watch them. So I saw it like, okay, you all know that Jaws has this legacy of having people scared to go in the water. So I watched it for the first time at my grandparents' house in Texas, which is, I mean, it's in San Antonio, which is far from any beach. And rather than having it, like like I finished the movie like, oh, that's not scary at all. And then I go to bed and like start freaking out. Like I know San Antonio is away from the ocean. I know San Antonio is a landlocked city or area. But I would have this fear like a shark would like pop out of underneath the bed or the couch and like grab my feet and drag me under for some reason. It's like wrong. It's like wrong monster.
Yeah. No, I know. Trust me, I am familiar with seeing Jaws at a very young age. My brother had me watch it when I was 5.
Oh wow! So you beat me, yeah?
Not 8, but 5. And I was terrified that Jaws would come out of the toilet and bite me. And I was terrified that when I would take a shower, that Jaws would come out of the shower head and eat me.
Oh wow!
And we lived in Kenosha, Wisconsin, which is on the very like like this is Wisconsin. We're like on the very corner edge, like right next to like Michigan.
Yeah.
On the border between Illinois and Wisconsin. And so we went to beaches all the time and like the water was right there. So to this day, I can't really even go into deep water past like my waist without getting like nervous.
Really?
And panic attack. Yeah.
Some reason that didn't happen to me. Like I watch Jaws now and it's just like, oh, go in the ocean without a fear. I watched Psycho for the first time 2 years ago and like never once had a fear of showers.
Well, that's probably because you're watching Psycho now and not
Probably.
back when it first opened.
Excuse me. Yeah, I guess so. But even then, I don't know. There are other things that like freak me out in terms of, like, I think we had this conversation before off mic. I think through like texting. Like today, haunted houses never seem to scare. They're just more like fun.
Mhm.
It's like we'll watch
Yeah.
we'll watch like a new horror movie like with like some sort of fear. But haunted houses, we'll just go in them at will. It's just like, oh yeah, this will be awesome.
Mhm.
Um, because I mean, there is a little hesitation. I think I've outgrown it because at first I used to have hesitation about going into a haunted house because I don't like things popping out for a cheap
Mhm.
scare or something. But after a while, I got used to it. Um, though it's been a while I've done that. Like, because mainly my Halloween experiences were for the past 2 years, at least in college, were very tame. Um, mainly like the Halloween experience in college was just a lot of drinking, uh, walking around the town, doing that kind of stuff. So it was pretty tame. No scares really.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I guess back in college and high school, I always tried to go to some kind of like haunted farm or like Six Flags Fright Fest,
Mm-hmm.
or um, like in Minneapolis there was Valley Scare. And my ex-boyfriend and I, we went to this haunted farm area. Of course, like at this time, I was very frequent to haunted houses, and horror was my favorite movie genre. So it takes a
Mm.
lot to scare me. And I go into those things mainly to laugh at the other people that I'm with
Yeah.
because they get scared, and that amuses me. Uh, and so my ex was this like really tall guy, like pretty I don't know, like he kind of looked like the brawny paper towel man. um, but
Wow.
my age. And we went through these mazes, and everyone tried to scare me because I'm the little scared girlfriend that cowered behind her boyfriend, whereas like he was the one who would jump up and scream and get really
Oh.
freaked out.
Wow.
So so eventually, like by the last one, I got so sick of them trying to like freak me out that I was just like, look, he's the one who gets scared. I don't. And his name is Zach. So
Oh
just
man.
shout that out into the maze and, let the fun begin. And they did that. And it was awesome.
Wow. I remember there was one time I was with a group of friends at Universal.
Hmm.
This was like when, like, they changed their maze a lot. Like at one time it was a mummy maze based on the second Mummy movie. Then it was Van Helsing maze, which it was at the time I went.
Hmm.
And like, no, it was, yeah, it was a Van Helsing maze, and like they would like they were all these friends were they would just like file behind me, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm leading, and this will be so you guys don't get scared easily. And then there was a point where it's just like one of them was like, you know what, this wasn't so scary, so I'm gonna go up in front. And then I see this coming a mile away. This one of my friends goes up in front. I see some fake wolfman, like just still in the background, and then I see it move, and then she like falls onto the floor, like rolled up in a ball, like scared. Like for this, and she's like in that pose for like 10 seconds. Just like
Hey man, fighter.
I guess so. It's like I saw that coming. I knew that was coming a mile away.
Yeah. At Six Flags Fright Fest, I went with some of my hometown buddies once,
Mm-hmm.
and we were all girls, and we were in this haunted house, and we all took turns going first in each of the different haunted houses there.
Yeah.
And in one of them, my friend Jisha, she was in front, and she was so scared. She was the one who like scared the easiest out of all of us. So, by the time we reached the end, we were like, okay, something's gonna happen, but we don't know what. And then she finally like she sees the light of the door outside. So she like runs forward and she's like, finally, I'm free. And then all of a sudden we hear this
Oh, the chainsaw.
And it was the chainsaw guy, and she like screams at the top of her lungs, and she goes dashing like I don't know. I'm pretty sure she could have won a track meet that day. Like how fast she was running, and he of course like chased after her through like halfway through the park, and we're like, Jisha, stop running! He'll stop chasing you.
Oh, see, at Halloween Horror Nights, one year they had a Nightmare on Elm Street maze, and at the end, like when you get out of the maze, like, oh, thank God, it's over. There was a guy dressed as Freddy hanging out outside the entrance, wanting to scare you. And this was a year I went. I think it was with my brother, or maybe it was alone. Because they had Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre themes for 2 years in a row. Nice. So at the time that happens, like the guy dressed as Freddy scares me from outside the entrance. Like I run, like towards like the outside where all the people are walking around. I didn't stop, and then as I'm running and I start to slow down, one of these guys who like runs on the ground with things on his hand to create sparks on the concrete, like scares me again, and it just encourages me to run more. I'm just like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Go on. Where's Jurassic Park? I'll go on that. Huh?
That's awesome, man. I love haunted houses. They're so much fun.
Yeah, I haven't been in one in 2 years, I think, or 3 years. I'm hoping to go to Halloween Horror Nights this year.
Yeah, well, I don't know my schedule yet, but if I'm not working next weekend, like at night, for like I don't know, one of those days.
Yeah, either Friday or Saturday. Just let me know about that.
Yeah, I will.
Because it'll be nice to go with someone else and not alone, or someone who doesn't want to go.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, it's totally a bummer if someone doesn't like haunted houses and they go.
Yeah, although it is kind of funny. Well, I actually don't know. Like, if you know your friend is enthusiastic about going, and they get scared, then it's funny to see it. But if you know your friend doesn't want to go and like they get scared, it's just like you feel like an asshole. Like,
yeah,
why
definitely.
did I do this?
So something I wanted to bring up tonight was that, like, when I got home, I was cruising Facebook, and then I saw this Zimbio list, like, of top most cued like Halloween horror movies, or like not Halloween horror movies, just horror movies.
Yeah.
On Netflix, and the list was disappointing, I have to say.
Really?
Yeah, so I actually took the liberty of going through and making my own horror movie list that's available on Netflix.
Well, I want to take a look at what they have on Netflix, or.
Okay. Well, you should check out the original list.
That's what I'm doing.
What?
That's what I'm doing.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, like, it's Zimbio. Bio. Zimbio.
Okay.
And then, like, the Netflix queue list of horror movies.
All right. Why don't you tell? It's gonna load. Why don't you tell me your what you wrote down?
Oh boy. Well, I don't know. Now that you're looking at the original list, I feel like maybe I should just talk it up so much, and then you can list all the ones that they listed, and then I'll list mine, and they'll all be terrible.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to find it.
Okay. Yeah, I think it might be.
Link it to me, since we're on Google Hangout. You can link stuff to me. In the chat.
Close. Let's see. I just had to open up a new window. Let's see. Most cued horror movies. Blah blah blah. Okay. Let's see. Screen share. I'll do that.
Okay.
Don't worry, I don't have porn on my computer. Right now, at least.
Okay, I see. Whoa. Is there something you want to share?
What?
You said
What are you talking about?
You said I don't have porn, and not yet at least. So, okay.
Oh yeah. No, just making a joke.
Sad days. I'm looking at this, and there's probably only one movie I'd agree with. You guys
Yeah.
you guys can't see it, but it's 9 movies. It's The Hole, which may have heard of, I don't know. VHS, Tucker and Dale versus Evil, which I heard is good, but I never actually saw it.
The movie's funny. You know, it's more of a satire on the horror movie community, which I totally love satire. It's great.
Yeah.
So like, it's not like I'm opposed to people having this on their queue list. It's just mainly the others.
Right. Then there's John Dies in the End. I have no idea what that is.
Well, I've heard that one's pretty good. I have yet to check it out.
Okay. Why the fuck is Hansel and Gretel from last year on this list?
That's not The Witch Hunter. This is like some weird one.
It's not?
No, this is one where like this old woman kidnaps young people and she fattens them all up by feeding them donuts in cages. And
Okay.
I don't really know why this movie exists, but it does. And apparently, yeah, and so you know, yeah.
All right, that confused me because it came out in 2013, the same year that other one came out.
I know.
The World War Z unrated version, which I never found World War Z to be fun. I'm sorry, I never found it to be scary.
The book is creepy. Like, you know, if
Yeah.
you read it.
I've never read it, but I've heard people say that.
Yeah, I read the book, and I had zombie nightmares for a month while I was reading it. So.
Wow. Number 3 is the only movie I can agree with. Cabin in the Woods.
Yes.
Yes.
Sounds probably the best movie that's on here.
Probably. Then there's Kevin Smith's Red State, which there was a movie that premiered at Sundance the first year I was there, and I just heard like mixed things about it.
Yeah, it's in my queue right now because I watched the trailer for it. It looks interesting. John Goodman's in it. So, you know, you never know. It could be good.
I guess. And then Black Death, which, given the fact that Sean Bean's picture pops up, I'm going to assume that he dies.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's true, but I heard terrible things about Black Death, so I don't understand why people want to watch it.
Well, it looks like judging from the picture, it looks like it's something out of Game of Thrones, huh?
I know.
Or Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I think if you like watch that Sean Bean compilation of all of his death scenes, that's like one that's like one of his deaths that they show.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But I don't. Spoiler alert. Of course, is it even a spoiler if Sean Bean is in a movie?
Yeah. I don't think it's a spoiler. Like everything he's in, he dies. He dies in Lord of the Rings. He dies in Game of Thrones. He dies in GoldenEye. There's some others I'm blanking out, but those are the main 3.
Yeah. So, anyways, if you haven't seen that Sean Bean death compilation video, you should because it is hilarious.
Right. He dies. He even.
Sad.
It's like he dies so much in movies that in GoldenEye he dies twice.
Oh my god.
He dies at the beginning of the movie and then at the end, and it's two death scenes.
Oh man, poor Sean Bean. No one gives him a break.
He's probably thinking, at least I was in the best Pierce Brosnan Bond movie.
True.
Yeah. Anyway, what did you come up with?
Yeah, so with that list, I was like, why are people queuing to watch these crappy horror movies? Mostly crappy, some good.
Mm-hmm.
Some possibly good, have not seen, cannot confirm. But for the most part, movies that haven't gotten very good reviews and don't look very good and they look stupid. So I went through and looked at all of the horror movies that Netflix did have to offer. And here's my list. It is compiled of 13, and I go from. I'll start with.
I like how you picked 13, the big unlucky number.
Yeah. I tried to put it in order of the number one that you should watch at Halloween time if you're looking for good horror movies. So I'll end with that one.
Okay.
So number 13 is the original Fright Night. Very good. Vampires living next door. No one believes you. What are you gonna do?
Where's Buffy?
Have you seen that one?
I've not.
Oh, come on. It's good.
I want to see it. I think I might. Given that I have most of this week off, I might just binge watch some horror movies because there's just some movies that I've tried to make a tradition to watch during this time.
Yeah. Well, it's full of 80s funness, and it's a really good movie, or a fun movie to watch. Number 12 is Frighteners.
Oh, is it that Peter Jackson, Michael J. Fox movie?
Yep.
Oh.
So if you love some early Peter Jackson work, like I do, The Frighteners is an excellent choice because it is about this guy who gets framed for all of these murders or mysterious deaths that happen around him.
Uh-huh.
But in reality, he can see this demon that's death. I haven't seen it in a while. That goes around and marks people as who he's gonna kill.
The only reason I've never seen it, but one of the reasons I know of it is because there's a little bonus feature that's dedicated to Michael J. Fox forgetting what movie he's in. It's he does a few scenes with a judge character, and out of instinct he keeps saying Doc. He keeps thinking he's back to the Future. It's it's just it's funny to watch. It's hey, you want to go to somewhere place? You want to go to this place, Doc?
No, it's bad. No, that's good. I mean,
you can find it on YouTube. You can find it on YouTube.
I'll look it up. But you should watch Frighteners this week.
Yeah, wanna.
Number 11 is a little more serious of a movie, Candyman. I only just watched this 2 months ago. It's a crazy movie. And kind of goes into urban legends and how you I don't know how they get started, and it's a little bit of a longer movie, so I recommend being awake when you start watching it. Don't be half asleep like I was. But it's a very creepy and more of a thinking kind of horror movie. There are scares in it, but
right.
Just a little bit more on the serious side as opposed to something more lighthearted. Number 10 is The Craft. Of course, around Halloween you have witches, and why not choose a movie where a high school witch movie where they take in this young girl who also has magical powers, and they all get into mischief until they all turn on each other, and then crazy stuff starts happening.
Wow.
Have you seen The Craft?
I've actually never heard of it until now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Check it out. It's it's a teen high school movie, but it's one of the, I think it was made in the 90s, so it's got that glorious 90s age about it. And then let's see, number 9, House on Haunted Hill. If Vincent Price offered me what was it, $10,000 to stay the night in a haunted house, I would do it.
Yeah. I was about to make a white people always stay in a haunted house for a night, but I forgot how to set it up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's If you like the classics, House on Haunted Hill, you can't really go wrong with that. Great that Netflix offers that. And good fun. Good fun is had with Vincent Price.
Yeah, of course.
Number 8 was Carrie, the original, not the
Oh,
remake.
you know what? We had like there was a brief mentioning of that remake by you a day ago or something.
Yep.
And there was like when I was in college when the remake came out, and the film department was actually having a special like screening of the original Carrie, which I really wanted to see, but I had like a midterm to take care of, so I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I regret it. But it's still on Netflix, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why it's on this list. 'Cause
Nice.
Netflix has it.
Because I thought it got taken down, and I like tried watching it at first, but then I had to take off for class and just never got back to watching it.
You got scared by the nude shower scene right in the beginning, didn't you?
I just had a class to go to. Like I was more scared of being late for a class than a shower scene that wasn't Psycho.
Let me tell you, Carrie has like it's prime 1970s like filmmaking. The cinematography is so psychedelic and crazy, and there are really great the imagery in the movie is excellent. So
Yeah, I mean,
I hope you enjoy it.
I look
when
at
you watch that.
Yeah, I mean, I look at the original poster and like kind of get creeped out over it. I mean, it's just two simple images, but it looks kind of creepy.
Yeah. It is like that whole scene is just. I mean, it's like heartbreaking and like horrifying, and like that whole pivotal scene, and then from there the movie still has like another half an hour left.
Wow.
Yeah. Moving on to number 7, The Blair Witch Project. I mean, I know this one's controversial. A lot of people don't like it, but I love The Blair Witch Project. I think that it's an excellent movie that when it first came out, really scared a lot of people because its marketing was so good. And
Well, yeah, because back then, when did Blair Witch come out? 2000?
yeah, I think so.
Well, like
I could, but it'll slow my internet down.
Right. Well, like Blair Witch, I think back then when it came out, the internet wasn't as big as it is today. So it's like of course, like there's some dumbass out there that could believe it, and it's funny that maybe I need to do a little more research. But Blair Witch came out, and then like it was like the only one of its kind, and now because of Paranormal Activity, all of these fucking found footage movies are everywhere.
Yeah. No, I know. Well, I mean, yes, it's really just a forerunner, though, of its genre, which is why I think it's such an extraordinary movie. And, I mean, the way that it was marketed was like, I was so young when it happened that I can't really remember, but, they came out with those trailers that was like, this is real footage that they found, and like none of this. I mean, it's only been edited to make the linear storyline make sense or something like that. I mean, of course, like as soon as you watch it and like you get to the end credits and they have like a costume designer, but and you're like, but yeah, I don't know. I think that it's a movie that if you watch it today and you're like, then you just go out camping like the next day, you might get a little creeped out by it.
Probably.
Looking over your shoulder.
Like I might go camping. Anyway. I might go camping, but my wallet says no.
Yeah. Number 6 is You're Next. I just watched this one this year, and I also watched it on Netflix for the first time. The first 30 minutes are pretty bad, like, but as soon as you get past that and like stuff starts happening, that's when it gets really good. I won't give away too much because I didn't really know what to expect when I went into it, but stick with it and you won't be disappointed.
Nice.
Yeah. Number 5 is Evil Dead 2.
Yes.
I mean, you can't go wrong with chainsaw arm. So.
Yeah, there's only one word to sum that up.
What?
Groovy.
Yeah.
Exactly. I didn't even know it was on Netflix because I have it on DVD, and it's just like, it's like, why go to Netflix if I have it on DVD? Because that's a movie that I try to make a tradition of seeing around this time.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's on Netflix, quite available, which is awesome. And number 4, Rosemary's Baby, the original with Mia Farrow, not the weird TV series that they tried to do.
Yeah.
Or TV.
Was it a TV series or was it a mini series?
I think it was a mini series, but someone said it was a TV movie that I was talking to, so I'm not sure. I didn't watch it.
I didn't hear too kind things about it, so.
No, I'm not surprised. But yeah, I love the original. It's one of my favorite movies. It's creepy. It's there's just the one story of this, it's almost like The Descent in the sense where it's a movie that's terrifying in the premise itself of like a pregnant woman thinking the world is out to get her.
Yeah.
And, but then there's like this whole other storyline that also makes it creepy. So, check it out if you haven't.
Yeah, I definitely will.
Yeah. Number 3, Cabin in the Woods.
Yes.
Of course. Yes. I know that Zimbio had that on their list, but, that was really the only one that I could agree with as far as being a Halloween, good horror movie to watch.
One of the few horror movies I actually saw in the theaters. If you want to, you want to count it as a straight up horror movie.
I do. I count this next movie that I'm going to say, Scream. I count Scream as a horror movie, even though they're both they're both satires on the horror genre. They're calling out what makes a horror movie while being a horror movie.
Right.
So Cabin in the Woods and number 2 is Scream. You can't go wrong with those. I think they are both amazing in their scripts and the way that they were directed and acted out.
Yeah.
I really have bad to say about either of them.
It's fun. I've never seen Scream yet, but that movie, I know, I'm bad. I'm very bad at this. But I heard that it was famous for Wes Craven made it to point out the cliches of horror movies in an attempt to end the slasher genre. But instead it got so popular that it kind of revived it.
Yeah. I know, exactly. Well, before you see any of the other ones that you haven't seen yet, you should Scream. Watch it tonight with your friend.
I'll try to get him to it because he's not big on horror movies.
Yeah. Well, it's got a very young Drew Barrymore in it.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. And yeah, I don't know. It's oodles of fun.
So what everyone wants to know is, what's number 1?
Number 1. I was doing an air drum roll, but I realized you can't hear that.
There you go.
Number 1 is Night of the Living Dead.
It's on Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
I've been trying to hunt down Night of the Living Dead on DVD and could never seem to find it. So the fact that you tell me it's on Netflix, that it's the original, right?
Yeah, the original.
Yes, that brings a joy to me because I know I found it on YouTube because it's a public domain movie, but it's the stupid colorized version.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I think.
I haven't actually watched it on Netflix because I do own the DVD. I own the DVD.
Oh no, it's on the black and white version's on YouTube also.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Um, yeah, so, I mean, Night of the Living Dead, it's a classic. It's um, not the first zombie movie in existence, but it is, like, in, like, the iconic zombie movie that everyone thinks of.
Yeah.
And I saw it when I was, my brother, I have an older brother by 13 years, and he sat me down also when I was 5, and he showed me like the first 10 minutes of this movie,
Uh-huh.
and terrifying. I mean, like, nothing's really happening, but, you know, I knew it was a horror movie, and I was expecting something to happen, so I was getting really scared and paranoid. And then all of a sudden, like, the first zombie walks up, and very scary.
Yep.
I can't give too much away, but I love this movie.
I've wanted to check this out. Now that I found out that it not only is it on Netflix, but the black and white version's on YouTube in HD,
Yeah.
I definitely want to see it.
Yeah.
I did actually watch a little bit of it, but it was through a commentary that James Rolfe did last year.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and I didn't want to watch too much of it because I wanted to see it without his commentary, and like I would go back to it once I've seen the movie. But he quotes a Riff Tracks version where the main character at the beginning, the brother with the glasses, like
Yeah.
he says something and then lightning strikes and he looks up at the lightning and James Rolfe says, "Sorry, God." Like that's a Riff Tracks quote.
Yeah.
But yeah, that it's awesome to hear that Scream and Night of the Living Dead are on Netflix.
I know, 2 of my favorite horror movies.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see the original Dawn of the Dead also.
I own it.
Oh, nice. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, Amoeba Music, or, yeah, Amoeba, for those of you on the West Coast, it's a really big
Yeah.
music store, but they also have, like, a big movie section, and it's great for looking for those kind, like, you know, hard to find DVDs.
Yeah, it is. There's a similar store on in Santa Cruz called Streetlight Records that I managed to get a lot of rare stuff from, or for cheap. I got a really good DVD of Bonnie and Clyde and The Searchers for like $9 a piece, and they were like
Nice.
new.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so that's a
Bootleg. There's some kind of, like, Asian Asian subtitles at the bottom. It's hilarious.
oh for your thing or
Yeah.
oh
Yeah,
wow.
for my Dawn of the Dead DVD, it's like, I don't think this is a legal copy.
Oh,
Of this movie.
is it an import?
Yeah, it's probably an import.
Okay.
But it's funny. I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah. Back to Night of the Living Dead. I've been told, or no, I've said that it's hard for me to like really see zombies as a scary thing, mainly because of Shaun of the Dead. But again, from what I've seen of Night of the Living Dead, it looks like something that would legitimately make me scared of zombies.
Yeah, like, I think it probably won't have that effect on you, like, now that you're in your 20s.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Well, I mean,
when you're a little-
it would be creepy at the least.
Yeah, there's a possibility. I think you'll appreciate it as a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I always say that. I think, like, that people will appreciate it as opposed to, like, it'll scare your pants off.
Yeah.
You know.
I on YouTube, last year I made a list back in 2012 I made a list of my favorite horror movies, and then I made another list of things that I like to watch around the Halloween season. Like
Yeah.
not like again, not necessarily horror movies in general, but things that put me in a Halloween mood. And like some examples were Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ghostbusters, Shaun of the Dead, the original Universal monsters from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. The original,
What's wrong with those guys?
yeah, the original Alien, and then obviously Halloween.
Yeah. I also made another list of movies, but I won't list them all. But yeah, Halloween was my number one. Like, you should watch around this time of year, kind of thing.
Yeah. Any movies that aren't really horror but kind of creep you out in a way?
Yeah. Let's see.
Or have or have scenes either have a creepy feeling or have scenes that creep you out.
Yeah. There is. I mean, Silence of the Lambs. People don't consider it to be a horror movie. They consider it more to be like a crime thriller drama or something.
Mm-hmm.
But that scene where I don't know if you've seen it, but like the main character is down in this basement, and the like villain of the movie is like wearing night vision goggles, and he's cut the power.
Shit.
And so she's down in this basement like looking for him, and he's there and he's like following her, and you're seeing her from his point of view. So it's just this very voyeuristic feeling, and like you're so scared because you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say that's one of a very like iconic, scary moment for me in a movie.
Right. Yeah. I've seen bits of Silence of the Lambs, and it definitely is creepy, especially Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah. Well, I think Buffalo Bill is scarier than Hannibal Lecter. I don't know. He's scary.
Right. A few that do it for me are the original Terminator, because it kind of plays like a horror movie. There's the Large Marge scene in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yes.
Like it's a cliche to say, but like it legitimately, like it's a kids movie in a way, but because it's in the hands of Tim Burton, he's got to put in something creepy, and like out of nowhere, like this stop motion face pops up and just scares the living fuck out of you.
That's great. I love that scene.
Yeah.
That is like, and that's also one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Another horrifying moment in that movie is his clown dream.
Yes.
And there are terrifying like clown faces all around. That movie and It are the reason why I am terrified of clowns.
Yeah, I think it was Pee-wee. I've seen It also, and it just seems, I don't know, it seems a little more humorous to me, like unintentionally.
Yeah. No, when you watch it, yeah. I watched it again like years afterwards, and I was like, I was scared of this movie. Yeah, that's a good scene.
Yeah.
Tim Curry, I love that man.
One movie that I have that's like probably like something, I don't think haven't seen this one, I'm sure, is there was one Godzilla movie in the 80s that it was like a reboot sequel that it had a few horror elements to it. It seems it's very outdated when you watch it today, but when I was a kid seeing it for the first time, like it had really creepy music. It had a Godzilla suit that looked pissed off constantly, and it had Cold War elements that just gave it this ominous feel. And the Japanese version like definitely has a more creepy feel to it. Like I remember it was like the only Godzilla movie that legitimately scared me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one that's not on DVD, and it's not one I recommend to like hardcore fans it's not one I recommend to like the casual viewer, because it can be very outdated.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, it's one of those things where it's like back in the day you're terrified of it, but looking back at it you still like it, but you're like, this isn't as scary as I remember it to be.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when I was little, like, I used to love watching Fantasia, but I could never finish it because I would get to I can't remember what the scene is called, but it's this, like, it has to do with, like, death and the devil and...
Night on Bald Mountain.
Yeah, that one. And it's like a beautiful song now, and it's a really great scene when I watch it now. But
Yeah.
when I was younger, it terrified me. But yeah, it just goes to show how like tastes change over time, and people thankfully stop being scared of cartoons.
Well, it's strange because like I mean even I think even more than Night in Bald Mountain, Pinocchio was had very creepy things about it. Huh?
Yeah, well, he gets eaten by a whale.
Well, not just that, you got kids turning into donkeys.
Yeah.
That never gets resolved, and there's even a line. It's like they come into Pleasure Island as boys, but they don't come back as they don't leave as boys.
Nope. Yeah, I know. That whole scenario is terrifying. And if you go to Disneyland and ride the Pinocchio ride, it's the same way.
It
You just feel like you're in this trapped, horrifying world.
yeah.
And then it's over and you're back in Disney magic. So
The Mr. Toad ride was like really weird in that same like
I love that one. You literally go to hell.
yes, it's like it has nothing to do with the actual short film.
Nope.
Or like it does,
Uh,
but then it breaks away and you go into hell, and then literally you leave the ride and it's like, wait, what happened to Mr. Toad?
I know. I think basically that ride was to talk about and teach you the dangers of driving drunk. So
I guess so.
yeah. Oh, I just want to make one more like honorable mention of a horror movie that people should see because I just saw it for the first time this year after years of tracking it down, and not being able to find like a copy.
Yeah.
But people should really check out the 1970s The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, yeah. It's not my favorite horror movie. It's one of my favorites, but it's not my defining favorite, and
Yeah.
it's not it like but I will say it's the most disturbing horror movie I've seen.
Yeah, well, it's just the way that it's set up it's just a good, solid, structured horror movie.
Yeah, it's and
And
go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, and like, it's just so crazy because like this isn't really a spoiler because they give away everything in the trailer. Like if
And,
you look up the trailer, everything is shown.
and
But
plus it's a 40-year-old movie.
yeah, but the deaths all happen like within half, I don't know, half an hour of each other, and they're like really quick. You're just kind of like, wow, everyone is dead, almost everyone.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The what was I gonna say? Like two things. Like being from Texas, it definitely adds a really big horror element to it because like I've been in those parts of Texas where it's just like dead wasteland and
It's scary.
yeah. And then one of the lead actress from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre passed away a few months ago. And like I had this like eerie feeling. It's like I have a weird feeling whenever like someone from a horror movie dies.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, it like kind of reminds me of that whole Poltergeist curse where all the main actors just kept dying as they were making movies.
Yeah. No, I know. But it's yeah. I mean, I can't really speak to that, but it's like just a good movie, very disturbing. And I also feel like I saw The Devil's Rejects a few years ago, and then I saw this movie, and I feel like that Rob Zombie like nodded his head or like tipped his hat to the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre due to like one of the more disturbing moments of The Devil's Rejects.
Oh.
Like, also in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where
It's just like torture.
No, not really torture. Just like this. Well, okay, I'll give it away. Just like this, where in Devil's Rejects, the girl is running out of her hotel room and she's wearing her husband's face on her face, and she runs out of this, like finally like free of this horror. But then a big semi truck strikes her and hits her, and she's dead. And like, you see like her body just going through all the tires, and it's really disgusting. And you're like, Rob Zombie, you are one fucked up individual.
Yeah.
Then,
Killing off his wife like that.
Yeah. And then in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they have that, not the same exact setup, but also a character is in the middle of the road and he gets struck by a semi and he's like in the tires.
Yeah.
So I was pretty shocked. I was like, wow, they are putting this in the movie in the 70s. This is kind of awesome.
Yeah. I guess speaking of Rob Zombie, how do you feel about his version of Halloween?
Michael Myers doesn't need a backstory.
Yeah, I thought when I saw it, I didn't see the second one because I just heard it was too fucked up and crazy, or almost like intentionally funny. But the first one, I was like, okay, this backstory, I like it in the idea that a lot of horror remakes don't do anything new, and this is something new. But that's that's almost a backhanded compliment because it ruins who Michael Myers is.
Yeah, I mean, your most iconic, your most terrifying villains, you don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
You don't know why they are the way that they are. And you don't have to give them a backstory. Like, I don't need to know why Chris Nolan's Joker is as psychotic as he is.
Exactly.
That would ruin it.
I was just gonna bring that up.
Yeah. So again, I can commend Rob Zombie for trying something new, but really he just kind of should realize like Mike Myers is terrifying, because you don't know anything about him.
Right. It's like, I don't like how we're given a backstory, but the first half, when it's the backstory, is more interesting than when it just like repeats shots from the original movie. I mean, it's still any horror remake is still better than the remake they did of Psycho with Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
Like, that was literally shot for shot, and Norman Bates does not. I'm sorry, it's too funny to think of.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh, I
don't understand why people were like, yes, we should do this.
Money, that's why.
Yeah, I know. Too bad it probably didn't make nearly what it cost to make.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Fuck that movie.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I guess, just like on a random side note, you hear that the first person infected with Ebola is cured, or at least in the United States.
Oh yeah, well I feel like we're like much better prepared than like West Africa is to deal with viruses and stuff like that. So
yeah. I don't know, just a random side note, because like there are lots of people out there who are a little terrified of Ebola, but we're kicking its ass.
That's good.
So suck it, Ebola.
Yeah. Let's hope that doctor didn't infect too many people when he was in New York.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. We'll be fine.
Yeah, I know.
I guess, have you ever experienced the Rocky Horror Picture Show live, or like those midnight events? Yeah, I experienced that twice, like in the past few months.
Oh yeah?
Like for the first time ever, and it's definitely, it's an experience.
Did you get the V?
Yes, I did.
Nice.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I went when I was a freshman in college as an acting major. We were in a very small town, and so it was like all of the theater students and like other kids at the school who were interested would just go, and like their theater majors were the shadow cast. in
Yeah.
front of the movie. So
That's exactly what Santa Cruz does, because they have a program called Slugs and Fishnets.
yeah. So it was a lot of fun. I went with my friend Colin, and he had gone like all the time. So he was very much so a Rocky Horror Picture Show fan, and knew everything to shout out. So I had a good experience. I've never found anyone quite as enthusiastic about it again, like that I want to spend time with.
Right.
So I haven't gone again, but
I might be that person, because the second time I saw it, I felt like more into it, because I went to 2 Rocky Horror Picture Show events in like for 3 months of each other.
Mm-hmm.
So like it was still, the first experience was still fresh in my mind, so I still knew what to do, and I'm very enthusiastic about like midnight screenings where the crowd is just into it, like The Room. Like
Yeah.
I've been to The Room so many times that I even dress as Tommy Wiseau, and I know what to shout out. Like there's even an Instagram there's even an Instagram profile that's dedicated to Rocky Horror Picture Show quotes.
Nice.
Yeah, I forget what it's called, but it's pretty, I don't know, I found it and was, like, reading up for the next show. It's like, okay, I gotta prep.
Yeah.
But I realize it requires actually being there to actually prep for these things.
Yeah. I mean, like my friend Joe, he's also really into it. So who knows? Maybe by the end of this year, I'll be a Rocky Horror Picture Show fanatic.
Yeah.
Dressing up as Magenta.
Yeah. I mean, you be, I'd be caught dead if someone tried to dress me up as Dr. Frankenfurter. Or maybe I'd embrace it, I don't know.
Tim Curry, man. Just channel your inner Tim Curry.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's, I mean, at this point, like, I think thanks to UC Santa Cruz, I've, like, learned to not give as many fucks. So it's like,
Yeah.
I'll just embrace it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you could also go as Meatloaf.
Oh, is that the biker guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you always shout out, "What's for dinner? Meatloaf!"
Oh, yeah. There's, like,
Yeah.
I love, like, in this I guess in the certain areas, they're, like, jokes specific to, like, an area where the movie's shown. I guess mainly for a college town, because when I went to see it for the first time, there's that line where, Tim Curry says, "We can do better." And, like, beforehand, it's, like, a bunch of, people in the audience saying, "Hey, Dr. Frankenfurter, what do you think of our current UC president?" And then it's just followed by, "We can do better."
Yeah. You know, I made the mistake, though, of, like, trying to get into the Rocky Horror Picture Show again, like, trying to watch it and, like, learn it.
Uh-huh.
And so I watched it on Netflix.
Oh.
And it is very boring when there isn't a shadow cast or a room full of people. And, like, that's nothing against the movie. It's just very slow-paced.
Well, I mean, it is one of those things. Well, I think we were talking over each other.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. It is one of those things like The Room. Like, it's best seen with a big crowd, because I tried seeing The Room on my own. It depresses me, but going with a crowd, it's like awesome. It's like one of the best experiences ever.
Yeah. Nice.
You have you been to those Room screenings?
No, I haven't been to a room screening.
Holy shit! Holy
I know.
shit!
Well, like, the only time that I tried to watch The Room was when I was going to watch, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, sorry, your picture froze, so I wasn't sure if I was coming through or not.
I froze in shock for you not being to those things.
Oh. Well, I was watching Adult Swim, like, you know, in middle school.
Oh.
And, you know, it's like they play it on April Fool's Day or something.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So I was expecting like, Inuyasha to come on and all of a sudden this movie starts playing and I like all of a sudden like I'm like, why are they showing a softcore porn right now? Like
I
what
know.
happened to my regular programming? I got really confused and I was like, man, this movie's really bad. And
Yeah.
then it took me years to find out what the hell it was. I like asked my friends the next day, I was like, what was the weird movie that played on Adult Swim? And they're like, I don't know, we didn't watch it.
Yeah, I first experienced it through the Nostalgia Critic when he reviewed it,
Yeah.
and it was like it was like fascinating. And then I looked up more of The Room and found out there were these midnight screenings going around. And it's like, holy fuck, they have one a month in LA. I gotta go to this.
Nice.
So, yeah, once like when it comes around or when you're free, I gotta take you to see The Room at these midnight screenings.
Yeah, if I'm not working or tired.
Well, I think going there will like, I guess, energize you, like from being tired. But like I've been so fascinated with The Room that I actually like. The second time I went to a midnight screening, I actually made a list of all the things to shout out.
Yeah, nice.
Room. So like
Okay.
I'm always prepped. Like whenever I go in to be the guy, it's like, oh, I know everything.
Yes, they're all very impressed with you, Alex.
They are. I mean, the last time I did it in Santa Cruz, again, I dressed up as Johnny from Johnny, and it's like everyone like I was like the main guy's like, yeah, dude, you're awesome.
That's very cool.
Yeah, so one day you'll see this thing.
One of these days I'll go.
Yeah. 'Cause,
um,
uh,
what?
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oops. Yeah. Well, where are we at,
we
Alex?
we are, I think, an hour and 20 minutes, maybe a little.
Oh,
Maybe a little under, but we're this is our longest show so far.
yeah. Woo.
So
Well, I can go on for hours about horror movies, so.
right. Do you want to
Yeah.
close it out for the night?
Yeah, if that's all right.
Yeah. Yeah, again, guys, this is Rooftop Chats. Obviously you can find my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram Tumblr pages on YouTube. And check out, like, stay tuned this week because I'm going to take some of my favorite horror movies and just do a review for them once, like, Monday through Friday. And that'll just be something to have some sort of Halloween-themed video series outside of the show. And that should be coming
Nice.
around. But yeah, Cassie, let me know if you're free Friday or Saturday, and we'll go to Halloween Horror Nights.
I will.
I mean, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go regardless. But it would be awesome if you came along.
Yeah, of course.
And I
All
think,
right.
and I think, whether like you're there or not, there will be Halloween Horror Night videos coming up on this channel.
Very fun. You carrying your phone in the maze.
Maybe not the maze, but other parts like the terror tram. I'll definitely get video of that.
Okay.
But yeah,
well, that
let's
should be fun.
that's our Halloween show. This again, the reason why it's on Friday is because we're posting it on Halloween. So okay. Oh, you know what? I just checked the time. It's actually an hour and 9 minutes. So not the longest show. We failed.
Oh man, we suck.
One day when we have a third person, we'll go
Yeah.
beyond. We'll go beyond last week's episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the show. Have a happy Halloween, guys. Don't find any razor blades in your candy. If you see a guy in a hockey mask or in a William Shatner mask, just grab your truck, run him over, just do anything you can to kill him. because they will come back.
And if they do, invite them into your house for a cup of tea. They won't know what to do.
If you be hospitable to them, that's good advice.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be back next week. See you guys.
It's almost time, kids. The clock is ticking. Be in front of your TV sets for the Horathon. And remember the big giveaway at 9. Don't miss it. And don't forget to wear your masks. The clock is ticking. It's almost time.
Happy Halloween.